Sing along if you feel my flow. Come on, sing this song. He has a plan in Jesus' name. He has his hand on our brand. Building and growing together. We can make it through any weather. So come along, don't be scared. Hands in the air if you're feeling the flow. Sing along with the song. Hey, life streaming together. Life streaming together. Sing along if you feel my flow. Come on, can sing this song. Hey.
Hear the message, if you will, of the invitation of us to come, to follow, to be a part of this thing that he is building, this church, this body of believers. Yeah, this body of believers who will be sustained through their love for one another. So don't be tempted to just think that this is about how I feel about somebody in the moment. But this love that Jesus is speaking about is a call to action. Yeah, that's what just love really means. It's a call to action. Recognizing as Jesus has loved us, we ought to love one another. As Jesus has fed us, we ought to feed one another. As Jesus has healed us, so ought we to heal one another. As Jesus has refused to abandon us because of our impulses, because sometimes even our desire for revenge or our desire for status, our desire to hate on one another, to be bitter towards one another, just as Jesus refused to abandon us in our emotions, he's telling us that we ought to refuse to abandon others because of these very same things. Man, what is going on tonight? What is going on? It's Wade's Word of the Day. Wade's Word of the Day. So excited, so thankful, so grateful to be hanging out with each and every one of you in the space tonight. Yes, excited to be here. Hey, if you're excited to be here, take your finger, let it do the typing, and just hit that word. Just say, hey, you excited as well, because I'm excited. Make sure as you come into the space that you like the post, love the post. Yeah, can y'all do that for me tonight? We just hanging out on this Tuesday night, 125-22, man. Just as always, man, thankful for each and every individual who has come into the space tonight. We are so blessed to be hanging out together. Wow. Yeah, it's Wade's Word of the Day. Y'all know in this space, we don't tear down, we lift up, we encourage, we speak to those things that speak to us. All of those things. This is why we make it a point not to be involved in stinking thinking. Try to keep it positive around this spot in this room. Also, we tell our haters to put it where? Way back there, way back there. Yes, Lord, we see you, Mondukes. Lori, we see you, Auntie Linda, Verlin Barnes, Duchess Scott, Nina Holmes. Thank you all for coming into the space. And finally, we tell our fear, we ain't studying you. We ain't operating in no fear. We operating in faith. So everybody check in. Let me know how you're doing tonight, how you're feeling tonight, what's going on with you tonight. Make sure that you hit that star button as well. We would appreciate it. Would be nice to get that little stars party going tonight. So make sure you hit that tab if you don't mind. If you don't mind. Got a wonderful word for us tonight. Fulfill. Let me define it, and then we'll kind of talk about it. Fulfill just simply means to bring to completion or reality, achieve or realize something desired, promised, or predicted. To carry out a task, a duty, a role. Fulfill. 2022. 2022. What are you hoping to fulfill? What is your goal? What is your desire? What do you want to bring to completion in 2022? Now, That could mean a plethora of things when we talk about fulfilled. I'm coming to the end of a task, a journey, and I want to see that thing all the way through. I want to, you know, I want to fulfill the calling and the destiny and the purpose that God has on my life for this season. Right? This is Jesus. Jesus is called to fulfill his purpose, his destiny. It's already established right there from the beginning in the book of Matthew. You shall call his name Jesus because he will save his people from their sins. And we see he fulfills the calling on his life. And I wonder tonight, have you pondered? Have you thought about it? Have you been wrestling with your purpose and all of those steps that it would take to bring your purpose and your destiny to fulfillment? Maybe you wanted to go back to school and you haven't fulfilled just getting the application and sending the check. Maybe you've been thinking about a new job and how do I navigate this new normal in my life. You are tired of the job that you're in, and you have said in 2022, I'm going to do something different. What steps are you taking to bring that to fulfillment? Maybe you've been thinking about, man, I've gone to the doctor. He told me my sugar is high, my blood pressure is high, and this is going to be the year where I'm going to start the process of changing the way I think about food. And so maybe I won't put as much salt in my diet. Won't eat as much sugar as I've been eating. I'm going to get rid of that soda, maybe have a diet soda every now and then. What steps have you been taking to see the things that you have been thinking about, the things that you have been pondering on, the things that you have been wrestling with? What steps are you taking to bring them to completion, to fulfillment, to a desired end? Maybe you've been saying, man, I've got some dysfunctional relationships that I've got to reimagine, or I've got to, disassociate myself with. What steps are we putting in place to make that happen, or to bring it to fulfillment, to see purpose in the plan that God would have for your life? Can I suggest to you that when we look at the characters of the Bible, the stories of the Bible, it's really about a journey, a process, a purpose, direction, and calling. This larger plan that God has for you and I, and he allows us to be a part of his larger story, and he sets us on a journey to fulfill our specific destiny. And here is the reality: your destiny may not be my destiny. Your calling may not be my calling, and how it is to be fulfilled may not necessarily be similar, and it may not necessarily end in such a way that we would hope for it to end. We just came out of celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, and one of the things that he says in that last sermon that he preaches, he talks about longevity, and longevity having its purpose. But he fulfilled his calling and his purpose, but he did not live a long life in doing it. We think about, I can't think of his name right now, W.E.B. Du Bois, who sets Black folk on a trajectory, has these notions of how Black folk can overcome some of the things that they overcome only at the end of his life, towards the end of his life, say, man, I got to get out of America. And he relocates to another country. That's all a part of fulfilling one's purpose. I would argue tonight that in fulfilling the tasks and the purpose that God lays your way, it may not always end in these notions of grandeur. May not be a spotlight at the end of your journey, but if you have done what he has called you to do, I hear Paul saying something like this, that the sufferings of this world are not to be compared to the glory that we shall receive. And so your fulfillment may lead you down a hard road, a road of struggle, a road of challenge, especially if you're trying to help people. Because the problem with helping people, oftentimes people don't believe that they need help or don't want help, or they don't want your help. So sometimes that can be frustrating and sometimes that can be challenging. But if you are understanding and recognizing that it's God's purpose for your life, the thing that he has called you into, I would argue that you can still find joy in it. Listen, I sit here today, man, over almost going into 30 years now. Plus, I didn't want to sign up to this, to keep it 100. And most folk who really think about God's calling and pressing, I hear some people say, well, I knew, from a child. Okay, amen. I think I felt something from a child, but I didn't want to participate. You understand what I'm saying? Because I ask myself often, who would want to really do this? Who would really want to be where their sole job, their sole purpose is really to deal with people on a constant basis and walk people through their highs, walk people through their lows? Who would want to, as a part of their job requirement, mean that you got to lead funerals? Who really would want that? You dig what I'm saying? But here's the reality. If you are walking out what you are walking out as a part of the journey that God has put you on, even though you may go through some situations and some circumstances that make you uncomfortable, that you may not even like, he's pushing you to a place and space so that you can fulfill the calling that he has on your life. And I wonder tonight, who has allowed the notion of thinking that, man, this might be tough to fulfill that. This might be difficult to walk in that. This may be difficult to press my way. Who tonight has allowed that to be a roadblock in preventing you from fulfilling your purpose? Can I tell you tonight that you need to reevaluate, that you need to rethink? Because anything that is really worthwhile, anything that really pushes you towards fulfilling something, comes with challenges, comes with aches and pains, comes with agony. A star athlete, you see him on Sunday afternoon, some Saturday night, some Monday nights. You see them dunking the basketball, hitting the ball, running the ball, but you don't understand all of the hours of aches and pains and ice packs that go into all of that. Yeah, you see the guy on the stage and he gives a wonderful talk or a wonderful speech, a wonderful presentation, but you don't see all of the hours of mental agony to try to come up with something unique. Yeah, to try to pull his thoughts together and making a presentation, anything that's worth it is going to come with some hardship, some agony, some pain, but you've got to be willing to press your way through to fulfill the calling on your life. Too often, God gives us a calling and we expect it to be rosy all the way, but there are bumps that come in the road. There are challenges that come along the way. But I'm so glad tonight that he promises to be with us along the way. Promises to keep us along the way. He promises to strengthen us all the way. Promises to encourage us all the way. So I wonder tonight, what are you thinking about? What are you trying to fulfill in 2022? Yeah, I don't want you to be blue in 2022. I want you to be all that God has called you to be. I want you to step out to find out. I want you to press your way. I want you to push yourself. I want you to walk in your destiny. And I want you to fulfill your purpose. Because contrary to popular opinion, you do got purpose. Contrary to what they've told you, you do have purpose. Contrary to what they've said, you do have purpose. Contrary to how they see it, you do have purpose. So get busy. Get to moving. Get to pressing to fulfill your purpose. Yeah. Who's ready? Who's on board? Who's excited? Who is challenging themselves even right now to get started? It's not too late. It's not too late. Start from where you are. Move from the place of where you are to where God is trying to take you, one step at a time. Come on. Let's fulfill our purpose. Let's fulfill our destiny. And let's help one another along the way. Yeah, let's life stream together. L-I-F-E. Yeah, let's life stream together. Man, I appreciate each and every one of you all tonight. I'm done. If this word has added value to your life on tonight, all I want you to do, text, tag, and tell somebody. That's all I want you to do. If it has added value to your life, tag, text, and tell somebody. Make sure that you love on the post. Make sure that you share the post. Yeah. Not just tonight, but share it tomorrow. Make sure you go back. Take another glimpse. Find the parts that hit on you and send a text to somebody and say, you need to listen to this part because I believe it's for you. Man, I'm out of here tonight. I so appreciate each and every one of y'all. Let's go out this way. Yeah, let's go out this way. Y'all let me know if you're feeling this one. A little short song, but let me know if you're feeling it. It's actually a standard I used to sing all the time. Here we go. invitation of us to come, to follow, to be a part of this thing that he is building, this church, this body of believers. Yeah, this body of believers who will be sustained through their love for one another. So don't be tempted to just think that this is about how I feel about somebody in the moment. But this love that Jesus is speaking about is a call to action. Yeah, that's what just love really means. It's a call to action. Recognizing as Jesus has loved us, we ought to love one another. As Jesus has fed us, we ought to feed one another. As Jesus has healed us, so ought we to heal one another. As Jesus has refused to abandon us because of our impulses, because sometimes even our desire for revenge or our desire for status, or our desire to hate on one another, to be bitter towards one another, just as Jesus refused to abandon us in our emotions, he's telling us that we ought to refuse to abandon others because of these very same things. Man, I'm out of here tonight. I love y'all so much. Talk to you real soon. Come hang out with me tomorrow, Lord willing, as we get over the hump together. Talk to y'all real soon. I'm out. It's Wade's Word of